Alright, okay guys, alright, so, the Khaiza has finished and watched, Le Doctor Strange Multiverses of Madness. We have watched the Infinite Window to Our Assholes, Doctor Strange edition, right? Yeah, this shit, like, came out on Disney Plus. I was, on the radar for like this movie because I heard it got announced for Disney Plus around like a month ago. Yeah, I think it was like a month ago, or like a few weeks in, advance of the theatrical version, which debuted in like, when was that? Like, I forgot. Was it like March or was it May? Was it March or May, chat? Or was it like April? Oh, I think it's like May. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think it was like May. But yeah, the Khaiza has watched Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, through and through, right? Albeit, you know, when this Wednesday was a pretty like hectic day, right? Not only was there Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness that like came out on this particular day, but there was also Miss Marvel, which is still ongoing. It's like, now it's on its 3rd episode right now, like episode 3. So that's good. I also watched that. There was also the season finale of Obi-Wan that also came out, right? And also that, and also there was a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct by Nintendo, right? Which, you know, of course, I didn't really give a rat's ass about, you know, to put it bluntly, right? You know, of course, you're allowed to like Xenoblade, but I'm just not one of those people that's like, oh fucking Xenoblade, let's go! You know, I don't see myself nutting for that series. Like, I'm just not a fan. But, so that got subsided, and I just prioritized watching Miss Marvel, Obi-Wan, and Doctor Strange all in one go. Like, I just, foregone, well, I mean, I edited, before, right? I was in a little bit of, like, you know, just passively, like, not paying attention, watching to some of the shits that I've been, like, catching up on. But then again, right, I can't do that because, you know, I want to concentrate, sit down, and watch the things that I like, so I had to, like, upload first some of my videos on my YouTube channels. By the way, go subscribe to them. As you are watching this video, this is on Khaiza, so click that subscribe button, click on that notification bell, you know, that really helps out a lot. Was busy video editing, was busy doing all this stuff, and I got the chance to actually like sit down, like I sit on my bed right there, lying down, and I watched Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness through and through, right? And, you know, okay, so I gotta say, Doctor Strange, the sequel, Part 2, it's a pretty good film, right? It's a pretty, like, as far as, like, premises go, not to get into, like, any spoilers, like, yet, right? But this is a very, very, like, trippy-ass fucking, film. And it's a very self-contained, like, type of film, you know what I mean? Right, like, we all know that, like, we watched Avengers Endgame, right? We all love, the Avengers series, but as far as, like, you know, watching Avengers the first time, or, like, getting to know, like, who these characters are, if you didn't watch any of the films, like, beforehand, then you probably have no idea what the fuck is going on. That's what I mean by, like, self-contained. Doctor Strange 2 is in, like, that similar vein, right? Like, Doctor Strange 2 has all of these, like, references and, like, these, like, quips and all of this, like, background information from the previous, like, games. Not previous games, right? Previous movies that if you are not versed into like the Marvel Cinematic Universe at this point, then you should probably do so and get the fuck on it, right? There's a lot of like things that you want to know about the MCU, and not just MCU, but also just like Marvel movies like in general, right? Marvel movies in general. This is not a movie that will like introduce you or like spoon feed you that, oh, this is this character or this is that character sort of thing. No, you have to be like really up in the Marvel ass to get an understanding of like what this movie is all about. But like I said, it's a very trippy film. It's a very like chaotic type of film. It's not like, you know, Avengers like chaotic where there's like so many actors and so many like bodies and so much like action going on in the screen. The theming itself of just like multiverse has like this like idea that like, oh, we're gonna see so many different like places and things. But here's the funny thing. You don't go to so many places, which is funny enough, right? The theming of it is like, you know, the multiverse, and like you see various different like alternate like realities, alternate universes. But you only get to see like a few, which is kind of weird and kind of funny at the same time, you know? But this was a pretty good film, not gonna lie. I really did dig it aplenty, and even though like I would consider Spider-Man as like my favorite Phase 4 movie of the MCU, I gotta give it like a runner-up to this film because like there's just so much shit that you love because, you know, as a Marvel fan, as an MCU fan, you're gonna appreciate this film. Although, you know, it's pretty dark. I'll just say it like flat out. We're not gonna get to spoiler territories as to why it's dark, not yet anyway. But let's just say this is not for like children. This is something for like, yo, if you're like a fan of like this style, because the director for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness here is Sam Raimi, and for those who don't know who Sam Raimi is, he is an infamous director for all three of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, and he is also well known into the Evil Dead series, right? Ash Williams, hail to the king, baby! So Sam Raimi's directing style is very well versed into like, you know, this very like oddball, trippy, but also very scary, like malignant force type of like directing style for the movies that he directed on. And so Doctor Strange is like no exception to this, right? Everything about Doctor Strange is like, everything is just so scary, and only for a very specific reason, and that's a very blocked reason too, which not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that from like a Marvel film, you know, like Disney now owns Marvel, Chad, right? So you can expect like the usual things from like a Disney Marvel film. It's going to be very like kid friendly, or like, you know, heroes come out on top, there's a hero, there's a villain, you know, that type of shit, right? But we're slowly starting to see that like in Phase 4, outside of Les Spider-Man, and outside of like some films in Phase 4, right, that like there's no clear villain, right? There's no clear there's no defining villain or like clear villain in some of these like Marvel shows here and there, right? We usually get like sometimes like a good character turns into a villain, or like the villain is kind of like less, or like the message of this like particular villain is like us, so it's like the villain is portraying like us as a people or some shit like that, some philosophical bullshit like that, you know. But yeah, they've just been like kind of, I feel, lackluster with like the movie material of these Marvel films, that it's good but also bad at the same time. It's like a 50-50, if you will. You either guess high or you guess low. And most of the time they're guessing low. So let's just like get into like the plot reasons, right? Let's go into like the spoilers territory, right? Let's get this like right underway. So Doctor Strange to Multiverse, yeah, just like begins with like, you know, alternate universe Doctor Strange saving. The plot point throughout this entire fucking movie is this like new age character, right? And that is America Chavez, right? She is a kind of like one of those like new gen heroes like Spider-Gwen or like Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, those types of shits. They're like kind of like the new gen cast or the new gen heroes of the Marvel universe, right? And in this film, she's like kind of like the plot point behind everything about Multiverse of Madness, you know? And here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing. I do not know what America Chavez's like power is, right? Like the first time I saw her was like, okay, cool. She's like a Mexican like superhero, right? I don't know who she is, but like she looks like a plain girl. The only indication that she's like a hero was like the star on her like leather jacket. So I thought like, wait, is this like another like Captain America hero, like a sidekick or some shit? Like, and no, it's actually like America Chavez makes like portals to like the multiverse, and she's been just like universe hopping to like every like universe there can be. She's like a hobo. She's like a hobo just escaping from like something, right? And in the beginning of the film, we see like an alternate universe Doctor Strange, or called what was it? Supreme Strange? What was it? I think it was like called Supreme Strange. He was assisting America Chavez escaping from this like malignant like force that's like hunting them both down, right? And then Supreme Strange sacrifices himself to let Chavez escape into another dimension or another multiverse, and she happens to land on the MCU like universe, which is now dubbed like Earth 616. It's just like, you know, that's kind of, I'll never like, this is kind of like a personal thing for me, chat. Like I'll never like get a grasp of like comic books, because like now comic books have entered like the multiverse like expansion series, right? Like there's no longer a single unified like Earth where all of these like heroes inhabit. You know, there's like what was it? And this is not Marvel too. This is also DC as well. There's no longer like one unified like Earth, and there's like multiple Earths with multiple different like heroes. There's like a New 52. There's like Earth 616. There's Earth 847 or some shit like that. And comic book publishers make so many like publications around like these different like Earths that there's like, if you want to like get into like comics, I feel like this is like my take on it. I could be wrong. Comment down in the comments below that how the fuck do you start like a series for a character, right? Do you start like in here? Do you start like in the OGs? Like there's so many like different versions of said like comic book character that you don't know where to start, and it becomes like overwhelming. It becomes so overwhelming that you don't know where to like go or like portal hop to, right? And that's kind of like the problem I have with like comics nowadays. It's just like, fuck dude, like there's so many of them, and I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. But back to the movie, right? America Chavez lands on Earth 616, where Strange is attending to a wedding for his former lover, Christine Palmer. She's like getting engaged, right? Until Strange hears like distress signals from afar, and then jumps into action with all of this like magic bullshit. Which, you know, I gotta say, right? I was heavily anticipating this film, only for the fact that, like, you know, we're out of like the Iron Man phase for Doctor Strange, right, where we get this like boring like introduction of like multi-billionaire philanthropist Stephen Strange, right, his origin story before he went to get his magic powers, and he just does more magic shit now, which is crazy. I love it. I love all this like magical flippy dippy like Necronomicon like bullshits. Like, I love that so much in this movie. And yeah, we get plenty to do that in this season. We got a little bit of a tease in the Avengers films, a little bit of tease in the Spider-Man No Way Home film, and now we just get like a full force of like, you know, what is Doctor Strange like capable of now. Now that he's like a master of the mystic arts sort of thing, right? So we get to see Doctor Strange doing flippy floppy magic, right? And he battles like a not Shumagorath, right? I kid you not, that's like, there's gotta be a reason why the producers didn't add like Shumagorath into the mix, because isn't he like a fucking dimensional being capable of like destroying worlds or like enslaving worlds? It's like the comic book origin, right? And like that tentacle monster with the one eye definitely looks like Shumagorath. So, but they just like one-off him in like in the clear of a bat, right? That's like, what? What? Come on now. And we get that. And what's up, James? Yeah, we're just gonna be talking about Le Doctor Strongy, Multiverse of Madness now. Yeah, we're just in the spoilers territory. So, oh yeah, so Doctor Strange, Wong, and America Chavez defeat the squid tentacle with the one eye, Shumagorath, not Shumagorath. Then they find out that what America Chavez is doing here, she's been like multiverse like hopping from like one universe to the other sort of thing. So Doctor Strange asked the help of like the most unlikeliest of sources of like multiverse theory, and that is Scarlet Witch, or Wanda Maximoff, right? Which she now is like claiming the title of Scarlet Witch after the events that happened in her show WandaVision. And Doctor Strange asked her help to like send Chavez back home, but Wanda has other plans in mind. Since after the events of WandaVision, where she becomes the Scarlet Witch, destroyer of worlds, ruler of all things chaos, and has now obtained this magical book called The Dark Hold, she wants to use Chavez, or at least like steal Chavez's powers, so that she can go to another universe and see her boys, Billy and Tommy. And, you know, I gotta say, right, it wasn't hinted at before, like, the original, like, trailers for, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And it was implied that she was gonna be in this film in some way, shape, or form through casting rumors and all that shit. But in this film, she goes totally fucking villainess, right? Like, she is like terror. What is this? Oh, okay. Sorry. Discord message. My bad. She goes fucking psycho incarnate, right? She is like a killer mom bent on destruction. Like, holy shit. When WandaVision comes into the picture, doing all of her like hex magic and all that shit like that, she totally enters like fucking horror movie Scarlet Witch, right? Fucking Scarlet Witch becomes like a fucking horror icon in this movie. She has all of these like jump scares and all that shit to like terrify the audience, and that's pretty awesome, right? I gotta give nods to that. That's part of like Scarlet Witch's character, and that's also fucking Sam Raimi's directorial vision, right? Because like again, he directed the Evil Dead series and he directed all 3 Spider-Man movies. So, well, I think all 3 Spider-Man movies. I gotta like check up on that. Maybe. But that's like some Sam Raimi shit. All these like jump scares and shit. And so, Wanda goes to talk to Doctor Strange, and she proceeds to like not obliterate, but like destroy Kamar-Taj, because she just wants Chavez's powers to like selfishly travel to another universe and see her boys, right? But then in a last-ditch effort, Doctor Strange and America Chavez portal hop to another Earth, where they immediately see an alternate version of Doctor Strange's former friend and rival, Baron Mordo, and immediately gets like captured by the Illuminati, right? There's like the fucking like dark cultist group that lives underground, that like in this world, Earth, what was it called? 849? What was it called? I think it was like 849. But yeah, like the Illuminati shows up, and we got the most unlikeliest of like Illuminati members, right? I mean, of course, there is like Baron Mordo as one of them. There is like an alternate version of Captain Marvel, which is her best friend becomes like Captain Marvel instead of Carol Danvers. Then there was Captain America, but the Peggy Carter version from Marvel's What If, right? I like that a lot. There was Peggy Carter. Then there was like this bitch from the Inhuman series, right? If anybody remembers that series, they're non-mutants living up in the moon or some shit. Black Bolt, whose ability is that he can't speak, but if he speaks, it's like creates like tremors on the earth or some shit, or like creates like sonic shockwaves. If I got that correctly, sonic shockwaves, I think so. Then there's Mr. Fantastic, right? Mr. Stretchy Man himself, smartest man alive, as part of the Illuminati. And then we have fucking Charles Xavier, fucking Professor X. Yo, the fact that, okay, right, it was not definitely like a mind blown that like, okay, Inhumans was there was also What If, What If cast was there, but the fact that they got like Reed Richards or like Fantastic Four representation in this film, it's kind of like mind blowing, because considering that the MCU is going to be making a Fantastic Four film like in the future, oh my god, wow, they're just like pulling strings like ahead of Fantastic Four's launch, and adding the perfect fucking character, John Krasinski, who is in many roles in Office and the father figure in A Quiet Place. So that was really awesome. But then we got Professor X, right? Which is like another fucking hint at like MCU is going to be adding X-Men in some way, shape, or form. And they add Professor X, and it's the most vintage fucking X-Men version of Professor Xavier there is, right? He rolls around in a fucking like dune buggy. Well, not in a dune buggy. What the fuck? He rolls around in this fucking like hoverboard chair, right? He's got this like yellow cab, right? And that is like a complete reference from the X-Men 90s TV show, like in the opening. And you know what's funny? When they introduced Professor X, the theme song was playing, but a cinematic version. So when Professor X just like rolls in as part of the Illuminati, you hear the theme song going like do 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 do. Like what? Right. So all of the Illuminati capture Stephen Strange and America Chavez, right? And they confront him and tell him that they're planning on imprisoning Doctor Strange because, you know, the events that like transpired like a few like minutes ago for this movie, where Scarlet Witch is like hunting down their ass and getting America Chavez's power, and they talk about one thing, which is like Doctor Strange needs the Book of Vishanti, right? Which can, its rumors say, thwart off anything or like cancel off anything. So if Doctor Strange gets like the Book of Vishanti, he'll like stop the Scarlet Witch, right? And that's like another like the premise of this film, or like spoilers territory, is like they need to get the book in order to stop whatever's like hunting down America Chavez with her like portal hopping shit. But no, the Illuminati are like suspicious of Dr. Stephen Strange because like they say every like universe version of Doctor Strange just says like, alright, you need to calm the fuck down, Sir Magic Man. You're causing all of these fucking like incursions throughout the multiverse, like fucking disturbances, and you need to sit the fuck down and we'll take care of the rest, right? Because every universe that Doctor Strange has been, he's like, he tries to save the world, but doesn't go the way he wanted to. At least that's what the Illuminati says that for Doctor Strange. And so they imprisoned him and America Chavez, and you know, they stay for some time until like Scarlet Witch comes in, where Scarlet Witch from the Earth 616 of 616 version possesses another Wanda from another universe, possesses her via like dreamwalking magic, as they call it. Like literally like force possesses the shit out of the other Wanda and hauls her ass to the Earth that Doctor Strange is imprisoned in, and just like storms the palace, right? She storms the Illuminati base, destroys some Ultron bots, which are like fucking service bots. Then she confronts the Illuminati, which is Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, Captain Carter, and Captain Marvel, right? And this is kind of like the funniest thing that I've seen like pre-watching this movie, where I've seen like, you know, I kind of got teased of like the events that happened of this movie. Or actually, wait, F11. Ah, there you go. Loop, and there you go. Where I got a little bit teased of the events of Doctor Strange 2, and that like Wanda just kind of like murks people, right? She like fucking brutally murders like the Illuminati roster, right? Like well, first off, she kills Black Bolt by removing his mouse. Yeah, good going, Mr. Fantastic. Wanda, be careful. This is Black Bolt. He will shout it. He will kill you when he opens his mouth. And then Wanda's like, what mouth, right? Because she can rewrite reality. So she like shuts off Black Bolt's mouth, and he's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And he tried to like speak, and then he like blows off his brain, right? And then he dies on the spot. And then proceeds to kill Mr. Fantastic by turning him into ribbons, and then just like, psh, like just like kills his soul or like some shit. And everybody's like horrified, like Captain Carter's like, holy shit, and then Captain Marvel is like, holy shit, let's go get her ass. So they proceed in like in a brawl. They proceed in a brawl and just like brutally like, and Wanda just like brutally murders Peggy Carter by throwing her shield back and then like slicing her in half. There's no like gore or like anything like very like M rating or R rating like content because it is PG-13. But damn, dude, you hear like, you can actually, when like she throws the shields, you can actually like visualize like, holy shit, the camera cuts to her top perspective and it's like, holy crap, I got cut in half. Oh shit, that's scary. And then the worst death was like Captain Marvel, where she like blasts her off and then like throws a fucking statue at her, like just like squishing her. And so yeah, like, and then Doctor Strange and Baron Mordo get into a fight because, you know, old rivalries. Doctor Strange escapes, as well as the Earth 849 version of Christine Palmer, and then America Chavez. They both escape, and no shit, like fucking, yo, you see like Wanda is like a terror icon. Oh my god, right? Like, I cannot like joke how many times jump scares have been added into this movie, chat. Like, seriously, there's like it's a lot of like Sam Raimi content in this film. Holy shit. Like, the man just like loves like, you know, subverting your expectations in the most like horrific of ways. Like, they made like Scarlet Witch like a villain in the vibes of like, you know, she's just this like powerful hex magic menace that just like misdirects, like chases your ass until she gets what she wants, right? And ultimately she did get what she wants. After like Doctor Strange and America Chavez found the Book of Vishanti, Wanda somehow enters the chamber where the Book of Vishanti is and holds like, and captures America Chavez, leaves like Doctor Strange and leaves Doctor Strange and Christine Palmer to another dimension, and she proceeds to like suck out like the magic, forcibly like killing her so that she can see her sons. But with the help of like Christine Palmer and like, I think like two other Doctor Stranges that help the main Strange out, right? Which is like the Sinister Strange and the Zombie Strange that were debuted in Marvel's like What If. So this is like, again, right, a very self-contained film, right? Where in the sense that, oh, if you haven't watched like What If, or if you haven't watched the first Doctor Strange, if you haven't watched any prior like Marvel movie at all, you're gonna be so totally left in the dark that like, oh, you could be surprised at like, oh, this is an evil version of Strange, or oh, this is the zombie version of Doctor Strange. But it hits more to home that if you saw What If, then it certainly does like home runs the fuck out of you on like driving it home, right? But yeah, like Strange gets like the kind of quote unquote help from Sinister Strange by using another Darkhold that he has, and then using Zombie Strange, and then uses like the Darkhold's power to dreamwalk and uses the souls of the damned to like chase down Scarlet Witch, right? Like, damn, dude, like that's just fucking wild. That shit's another Sam Raimi thing because he loves like scary shit. So the possessed zombie Strange gets to like the place where Wanda has captured America Chavez and proceeds to like suck out her like her soul or some shit, you know? And so that happens, and that happens. A big fight like ensues, right? America's almost like sucked out of her like her energy until Zombie Strange comes in, and then Wong comes in, like, and then Wanda gets what she wants by fighting Chavez, or like she fights back. Unlocked like her powers, she can control her powers by opening up portals. She goes into the portal of the universe where she possessed the one Wanda with her two boys, and scares the fuck out of the two boys, and realizing that like, oh god, what have I done? Like, I didn't hurt anybody, I'm not a monster. Well, yeah, sure Wanda, just look at like the thousands of corpses, look at fucking Black Bolt, look at Mr. Fantastic that you just brutally fucking murdered in cold-blood fashion just to get to your boys, and your boys are like, oh, I'm scared, what have you done to my mom? Like, damn. WandaVision was like a cruel woman, and she decides to exit out, realizes what she has done, and decides to kill herself and destroy the Darkhold so that no one could get their hands on it, and everybody escapes. Everybody has like a happy ending. America Chavez stays in Earth 616, learns how to do magic, you know, for funs and shits and giggles. It's like the comic relief, right? Doctor Strange goes back to the New York Sanctum and fixes up the watch that Christine gave her, and but then out of nowhere, right, like the Darkhold possesses him, granting him like that third eye, and that the movie cuts to like credits, and then a mid-credits scene where someone by the name of Klee asked for his assistance. It's like, oh shit, the Dark Dimension has an incursion, so they both jump in and like, all right, let's fuck up some shit in the Magicverse, and then that's the movie, right? And so, oh my god, I need water. And so, that's the entirety of Doctor Strange, right? That's the entire movie from like beginning to end, right? And you know, I thought it was a pretty good movie, right? I thought it was a pretty like trippy, I don't know about like mind blown, like holy shit this happened, right? I was definitely surprised, but not super like fucking ecstatic, right? The references were there, like with fucking Professor X and Mr. Fantastic, right? But they immediately got murked by fucking Wanda by like turning Mr. Fantastic into ribbons and just like killing Professor X, I forgot to mention that, in a psychic like neck snap. And he just like dies like drooling on top of his like yellow cab driver. Beep beep. And you know, I will say though that like this is not like a Marvel movie that, you know, I was talking about like Disney Marvel and how like Disney Marvel caters to the kids. You should not take this film to your kids, homie, like straight up. I would not even recommend like this movie to my niece, right? Like my 5-year-old or 6-year-old at this point niece. She would get like scared and like have nightmares, and I don't want that on my conscience. That's like some fucking guilty conscience. This movie is out there. This Marvel movie is out there to scare the shit out of you with Scarlet Witch, right? There are like so many jump scares and so many like high-pitched, like high like background music like noises that like, oh god, this happened. this shit is like dark, right? And you know what's funny? Doctor Strange came around at like the time that Moon Knight, the Moon Knight season finale was like ending. The Moon Knight season finale was like ending, and both had like gritty, like dark tones to them. Both had like gritty and dark tones to them because of like they're like violent in nature. You know, it was very subdued because of like the Marvel isms, but you can definitely feel that like, oh my god, this shit's like fucking scary. Like, what the hell? Like, holy crap! I don't want to see this anymore. I mean, I want to, but like, damn, bro, people got like murdered and like crazy shit happens. Oh my lord. You see like Doctor Strange like dying and shit. You see all these like goat demons. Stuff, right? Yeah, like Doctor Strange, I would not recommend this movie to like your young kids like at a movie theater. They're gonna be scared like shitless, bro. Like, oh my god, they are gonna be like cracked out of their fucking skulls, you know? Yeah, I would just not like recommend this to like the faint of heart. It's not a movie you would watch when like kids or like your mom is around, you know? It's very mildly scary, and if you're not the type of like horror enthusiast or like you're kind of like a chill like fan of like horror, then this is not a movie for you, you know? I mean, I watch horror. I'm a guilty like conscience of like, you know, I like horror shit because I love like, you know, sometimes I like shock value, and sometimes I like getting my creep on when it comes to like watching horror movies. But, you know, this is not like a movie for you. And not only that, it's also like self-contained, right? There's like a lot of like these references that are just like out there in this movie, and you have to be like, your knowledge check has to be like on par, like right now, that if you don't know who these characters are, then you're gonna get like lost behind. That's like the brutal truth, right? We talked about Mr. Fantastic, we talked about Professor X, right? We talked about like who was there? What If and all that stuff. If you haven't like watched any like Marvel movie or like TV show before Doctor Strange, then this is gonna be very weird to you. Like, straight up. It's not like a Shang-Chi thing. This is not like a Moon Knight situation where you're introduced to the character. This is a very referential piece, and it plays so hard on that that you are gonna get lost behind if you don't know who these characters are, right? That is like the harsh truth, the harsh reality of it. If you're like a new gen, right, then I'm sorry, you can still like watch it and see, but damn, dude, I don't know how, man. I don't know how you can like watch it after this. Oh my god. Would I say it's like my favorite Marvel film? I mean, I like the special effects, right? Doctor Strange is just generally the MCU's Iron Man after Iron Man dropped off, right? After Robert Downey Jr. Quit, and canonically, Tony Stark died. So Doctor Strange is kind of like this, like, he's spearheading like the new Iron Man, but with magic instead of technology. And so he's just doing magic things, and I love seeing like magic shit everywhere. I love seeing like multiverse shit. Well, here's the funny thing, right? I did say this earlier, or tease this earlier. For the title being called Multiverse of Madness for Doctor Strange, there wasn't a lot of like universes being like shown off. I mean, like, yeah, there is like that one scene where Doctor Strange and America Chavez portal jump too many like universes to land on the Illuminati multiverse. But that's like a quick snippet. We don't get to actually look at those like dimensions or universes, and we just sort of like are stuck in the Illuminati universe or the Sinister Strange universe, and then we go back to like the main universe, which is Earth 616. So we technically got like 3, but man, I was kind of like hoping for more, you know? I'm kind of like, man, they kind of like gypped out on like the potential of like Multiverse of Madness, of just like being this like insane clusterfuck of like, okay, it's the multiverse. You mean to tell me we can only provide 3? Come on now. Come on, that's some like, what the hell, man? That's also there. Fuck, what was I saying before? I forgot. Scarlet Witch was like a villain, right? You know, because like I said, the MCU Phase 4 movies and TV shows don't really have like a clear villain to like represent their movies or TV shows, right? It's just like in WandaVision, for example. If anybody saw WandaVision, it was intended that WandaVision is like the main villain of the series, right? It was originally supposed to be like someone else, like Agatha Hargreaves. Agnes, it's Agnes all along. But they kind of just like turned that script around and just made Wanda like, she's both a hero and a villain. She created like the Hex field in Westview, New Jersey, and just like trapped everybody in there because of like remorse or like grief. Remorse was like the main villain of like the show, and in subsequent shows later, like we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier that portrayed like a kid villain, just like trying to like reshape the world through politics, but that wasn't really good. It was not really hinted at. Then there was like Loki, which like they hinted on Kang the Conqueror, but it was not really like, it was not really Kang, but more or less like the relationship with male Loki and female Loki or some shit like that. What else was there? Like, what if, of course Spider-Man had like the villains from the other universes that Spider-Man was from, but that was clear, definite sign of like villain use. But yeah, right, like, MCU is kind of like seeing that like, okay, we need to transform the villain genre into just being like, okay, insert hero there, insert villain there, and we're done, right? They're trying to like explore like the thematics of what makes a hero and what makes a villain, you know? They're not just like huge like dickheads like, I'm gonna destroy the world, nah, no one can stop me. We have Thanos that just like wants to like destroy half of the universe randomly because of overpopulation. Overpopulation is like a crisis that nobody would solve until Thanos just comes in with like the Infinity Stones, like, alright bitches, I know this may sound worse for wear, but hear me out. Randomly eradicating half of the universe, pretty not bad, right? I mean, fuck, it's random, but yeah, you could like cut off like babies, or you can cut off like criminal warheads, you know? It's random, but you know, it works. You have more mouths to feed. Shit like that. It's like one of those like villain things you find in like in anime or in like cartoons. Of like, you know, the villain kind of low-key makes sense. The villain kind of like makes sense, right? Moon Knight had that example, right? You know, just like, instead of just judging evil at the present, you judge evil at the core. So you cut off the root of the core and no more evil. And then Moon Knight was like, oh, so you cut off evil at the core. What about if a baby was evil? You don't ever see a baby holding a knife. But yeah, like like weird like villain roles that were not meant to be like villains. Like Scarlet Witch was like a villain of her own making, sort of thing. And then pretty much just like axed her like at the very final end, sort of thing. But yeah, like Doctor Strange 2 is like a very trippy, a very dark, a very self-contained like movie. A lot of like magic and shit. Oh, right. Fucking America Chavez, right? It's still like so weird that I still don't know what America Chavez is. I know she's like next gen hero, right? But I always get her confused as like a Captain America like wannabe hero because of like the star on her back. The star on her back is like what's really like confusing me, you know? But yeah, like I did dig America Chavez's like background. I know the comic history has a little bit of like in tangents or like lost tangents with like that, but this is like movie making, so who the fuck cares? It's the same thing with like Miss Marvel, right? She gets her like powers from like something instead of just being a Mr. Fantastic clone through science. But I'm not gonna spoil that, right? I'll definitely say that for like save that for like 2 weeks from now or something. But yeah, right? Like Doctor Strange, pretty like a good film. Like I like it. It's pretty good. Not like my favorite film because out of like the Phase 4, I always say Spider-Man is my favorite film. Because I'm a Spider-Man stan, I can't help it. I love seeing all like the favorite like villains from the Spider-Verse past and they like interact with each other, so I'm like, yo, that's pretty tight. I like that shit a lot. But it's pretty freaking good. It's pretty freaking good. I like it. Not the most like entertaining. It's definitely visual entertaining, but is it like character driven entertaining like you would find in like in Avengers or in Thor or like in some of the TV shows? Absolutely not. Some of it there is, right? Because there's definitely a lot more action and shit like that. But Doctor Strange doesn't do that a lot. He doesn't do that a lot, which is kind of sad. I was hoping more like more talking and just more interacting, but I feel like it was like 55 action and 45 talking. It's like a good margin, but the moments where Doctor Strange did like interact with characters, it was most of the time talking about Christine Palmer, like how he misses his like one true love, or how much like he's scared of like being a superhero and being in love, which, you know, kind of seen this like theme before, but who the fuck cares? I definitely like okay, I definitely like at that shit, bro. Like that's some standard fucking shit. But yeah, like it's fun. I like it. It's good for what it is, right? It's good for what it is. I like it. And it's out on Disney Plus, so go watch it right. Go watch it right now, chat. Go watch it right now. If you have Disney Plus, watch the fuck out of this film. Sit down, don't do any work, cause if you watch this film, or if you're like me and wants to be like, you know, super concentrated on this film, you want to have concentration, because there are times where like at the beginning of the morning where I was like working on video editing, and all of a sudden I would get lost in video editing, and what just happened to the film? Like what happened like 5 minutes ago or some shit like that. So you have to be like on the ball when it comes to like watching this movie. It doesn't like retrace back or anything like that. You have to be like focused. That's Doctor Strange. Go watch it and see it. For the next Marvel films, right? For the next Marvel films that will be like coming out, we definitely got like a few in mind, cause Marvel Phase 4. We definitely got like a few in mind. Where is it? Phase 4. There you go. So for movies, again, Thor: Love and Thunder is gonna be like the big one for July. I think it's like July, right? Is it July or... Oh god. Yeah, Los Angeles, July 8th, 2022. So that's gonna be on a Friday. Alright, that's good. Oh shit, I gotta retrace back. There's that, then for TV shows. For TV shows, Miss Marvel is still currently running. Miss Marvel is currently running, so we're in this like third episode right now, and look forward to that. Then on August is gonna be She-Hulk time. I'm still so fucking bewildered that like it's 9 fucking episodes. How is it that this shit gets like 9 when like some more goated like series gets like Hawkeye got like 6. Hawkeye got 6. Moon Knight got 6, right? And Miss Marvel is getting 6. I do not like that at all one bit, man. That shit's dumb. We get like 9 episodes for like what? WandaVision that's there. What If is also getting 1. Did Loki have? No, Loki got like 6. But She-Hulk is getting that. God damn, dude. What the hell? I kinda don't like that. It's like some of these shows are like more deserving than like She-Hulk, and I heard like some people were like bashing the shit out of like She-Hulk because you know, she's not muscular, which she kind of is in the comics. So, and she's portrayed in this TV show as like a skinny but more like a skinny like sexy like green like woman. And then of course there's like lack of like CGI, which I kind of like overheard from like rumors and shit like that. So I don't know, man. I mean, originally I wasn't down with it at first, right? But damn, dude, like I don't know. I don't know where we'll be like heading. But let's see. I could be like won over, right? I could be like won over. I want like mommy green woman to like pick me up and carry me into the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? You know, like some shit like that, right? Some shit like that. But yeah, right? Those are like the upcoming projects that we have right now, right? But yeah, that's like that is oh god. That is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. Oh my god. That is Doctor Strange. Cheese and rice. Yeah, so now we can like stop this and